hit shot.
What is going on, guys? My name is Chicken Fingers, your friendly neighborhood commentator, and today I have a Chicken's Collectable Commentary. This is a post-commentary where I teach you how to play Engineer. I talk about my thought process and such, and it's going to be for each map, and I hope you guys enjoy this new series, and if you do, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Have fun, guys, and enjoy. Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Chicken Fingers, your friendly neighborhood commentator. Today we're playing some Viaduct here. This is a map you guys have seen me play a lot. It's probably my favorite map. It's my best map for sure. There's that one video where I went 17-0 on this map. Got a lot of points, did a lot of things. It's a really strong engineer map, and a lot of people play engineer on this map, I think, a bit too passively, or at least incorrectly. There's obviously, you, as an engineer, you can either play very aggressive or you can play very passive. It's all up to your play style. But I think on this map, if you don't have the cojones to go out there and do a little bit of damage and get a little bit in the enemy's face, then you're not really assisting. Mainly because, you know, especially with your 100 ammo pack right there on the right of the point, that's like key to this map. Controlling that is key for engineers. Like, if you are giving that to the other engineer, you're losing to that engineer. Your job is to take that every time it's up. Just like on Lakeside with the 200s on the right side, you kind of want to just control that area. Now, as I was saying, there's just two ways to play this. You can play this map very passively, and you can build just teleporters, dispensers, sit back, build defensive minis, you know, to stop bombers. Like, they're up on that cliff side. No one uses that spot. I rarely see engineers use that spot. Like, I know a lot of engineers do it, but I don't see it. And that spot up there, right there on the cliff, is so strong against soldier, scout, and spy. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And your sniper will love it. And because sniper rules this map. Let's just put that out there. Sniper rules Viaduct. There's no other class that can do as much as the sniper can on Viaduct. I mean, there's other classes. They have their parts, their bits, you know, their positions. But the sniper just generally is the pick class of the century on Viaduct. So, talking a little bit about Viaduct, looking at the teleporters. Teleporters are a key on Viaduct. When your team has a point, you have a slightly longer spawn. I believe it's 20 seconds compared to 15 or 12. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a noob, so I'm just going to leave those numbers as that, as I don't know. But I do know it's longer for the team controlling the point. So having a teleporter is just, it's probably the most underrated piece of equipment for the engineer. Probably, in general, I've always thought it was the strongest thing you can put down. Even stronger than your sentry. Even though your sentry has aimbot, sentries are pretty easy to kill. They're known. You know, people look for them. People don't really look for teleporters. Teleporters you can kind of hide. And really, when you think about it, I mean, you have a mobile sentry called the Heavy who can get to the point. And when you're playing a King of the Hill map, where DM, damage, it's pretty much a consistent mid-fight. Like I said, positioning and damage is what wins mid-fights. Having a teleporter is just going to just give you that consistently. You know, your team's going to love you for it. Even if it's only 3 or 4 seconds advantage getting to the point, it's still 3 or 4 seconds that you can put more damage out to the enemy team. So keeping your teleporter up on a King of the Hill map, even though it seems silly because it's, you know, it's only 3 or 4 seconds saved, really, it's still very, very important. Especially the Heavy. You know, he will thank you very much. And the Heavy is key on this map too. Staying behind the rock, keeping the bomber off, the bombing soldiers off, keeping flank classes off, like scout right there. It's just one of those classes that you kind of want out consistently. So here, you know, see the spy. This guy was always going engineer. If you're playing spy, don't do that. I call that out. I always call that out. Spy is going engineer a lot. It's bad. It's just a bad idea. And just right here, just kind of buying time for my team. I knew we were going to lose a point. There was no way of holding that, so I kind of fell back and just, I built a mini back here. It's pretty strong. It protects your medic from bombs on the left. So my medic can kind of safely hold behind the house and get a little bit of cover. It doesn't cover everything, but it does cover enough that it will protect the medic. You remember, you can't rely on your minis. You can't, just especially on this map. I think they had a hitbox change a few months ago when I wasn't playing TF2, and they got severely weakened by that. But they're still strong, but realistically, you can't rely on them like you used to. You have to be a little bit more of a DM class. Just slightly. I know it's kind of weird to say for an engineer. People are going to be like, "What, chicken saying an engineer's a DM class?" No, I'm a support class, but you know, having an engineer that DMs really well just makes your life a lot better, especially as a team, you know? So, you know, here, this is actually a crucial play I think I made. We had a really bad pop there, and so when they popped on the pyro, I decided to throw my mini there as a sacrifice to give my medic space from the pyro. If it was a demo, I would have just backed off. If it was a heavy, I would have just backed off. But since it was a pyro, and pyros are highly susceptible to kiting, I just said, I'll throw down my mini, and I'll let him come at me. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro, girl, whatever you are. And again, go right back, building my teleporter, keeping it up. Spy was kind of annoying this game. There's kinds of spies that I call top-stepping spies, and he was definitely one of those. That mini spot right there is tremendous. If the enemy doesn't take down that mini, it reaches just enough to the point where people don't notice it, but it will still hit them at that point. Oh my god, yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of those oh my god moments. It's so strong. So strong. Look at that. People are just not noticing it, and I'm just taking down. I took down the spy. Helped take down the demo, the NG, and I don't know who Jules is. So, you know, and this was a ring match. I was ringing for them. I get asked to ring for other teams, so this isn't my stock team, but so which means I have to play a little bit more stock. You know, I can't go out and go crazy, because if I go out and go crazy, they're just gonna hate me because they don't know how I play. So when you're ringing, you know, just try to play the meta. Try to play safe, play smart, and you know, it's nothing important. It's just a scrim, but playing strong is a key to being, you know, asked to ring, being a good player, and get your name out there. You know, everyone wants to be known for their play, and being a good ringer is always a good way to get your name out there. Not that I'm any good at all, but people seem to think so sometimes. And speaking of being good, I think this was one of my best matches on Viaduct. This isn't the 17-0 that I had the other day, but between these two rounds, on the third round, the server crashed, and at that point, the stats had said I was at 318 damage per minute, which is freaking ridiculous. Like, an average engineer should be anywhere between 200 to 250. That's like average, you know. So to get that extra 60, you know, DPM a minute, you know, an extra damage a second, it's actually a lot. And you know, you say it's the minis, but the mini positioning is really what's key. And a lot of these times, you'll see me, I'll put down a mini and I'll just go the other way. I'll go away from my mini, let it draw attention from me and come up with my shotgun. Like before, I took out a soldier and a demo doing that, and that's how I first started playing engineer back in the day, way before mini sentries, when level 1s were my mini sentries. And it's a very strong tactic. It's very risky. You're not covered by your mini anymore, and you're relying a lot on your aim. But if you can get that off, I mean, your damage numbers will skyrocket. But of course, if they have like a strong scout, they have like a strong spy, or you know, a strong pyro that's always keeping you off the other classes, or is just killing you before any time you actually take a flank, then that's kind of out of the question. You just got to play like, you know, really passive, play very smart. So, you know, engineer highlights, building up dispensers, building up teleporters, nothing very fancy, but it's crucial. It is. It's actually crucial. Without keeping your buildings up high, your life is worthless. And this is what Sigafu touched on the other day. He said, if you're going to die, make sure your life was worth it, you know? You're going to die. You're going to get killed in matches. There's very few matches that you do not get killed in. And if you're going to die as an engineer, you have to ask yourself, why did I die? What could I have done to not die? And was the reason I died worth it? And one of the key things he said was, make sure you have your buildings up if you're going to die. You don't die with no buildings up, or die without your sentry up, die without your teleporter up. Once you have those up, your life is essentially useless. And I don't know how I didn't kill that engineer there. He must have been really hurting. And then spy. But anyways, back to the point, you know, have your sentry up, have your dispenser up, have your teleporter up. Check that before you say, okay, now I'm going to run in there. Because your job is a support class, not a damage class. Your job is to get your team, make everything else for your team easy. You know, just I'm going to get my team to the front line. I'm going to give my team a static health and ammo. I'm going to give my team a little bit of extra damage, you know, aimbot damage. You know, I'm just going to be there for my team where they need me. You know, you're not the heavy. You're not stuck to babysitting the medic, babysitting the demo, babysitting the other guys. You know, your job is to just feed your team what it needs and where it needs it. So, you know, you see me build like dispensers, you know, at cliff or behind rock, but there's other places you can build them, and it's all based on your team, how your team's playing against the other team. If you think your team is not, you know, if you think they're not doing well from cliffside, you can go to concrete and you can put a dispenser there or something else there, and just say, okay, team, this is where I want you to go passively. You're not actually saying it. I think I'm a medic pick here. Sweet, love getting med picks. It's always fun when the engineer gets a med pick. And passively, it's like a psychological thing. They're gonna go towards the dispenser. They're gonna go towards the teleporter. So you're kind of directing your team's flow, and that's part of your job, as you know, since you're in the back line so much, to kind of observe what's going on and you know, pay special note to anything you can do to help your team's teamwork. You know, help its unity in working towards a goal. So we're running down the last 30 seconds here, guys. No surprises. You know, these are really good rounds. We win this one, and a lot of it was on my back. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna brag, but a lot of it was on my back, and you know, just keeping things like the spy. You saw me kill him a lot. Kill a lot of flanking class. Keep my minis up. So pretty much Viaduct. Keep minis up. Keep teleporter up. Keep dispenser up, and don't die for stupid reasons, but also try to be a little bit aggressive. And that's Viaduct, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, you know what to do. My name is Chicken Fingers, and I will see you on the battlefield. Peace out, guys. Robo Penguin.